Hey guys, this is Romans Empire here, and I am here. If you can see on the screen, I am going to be ranking all of the Fallout 4 companions. Now, I've never done a tier list on Tier Maker before, so this might be a little sloppy. This is only my second YouTube video full length, but I want to talk in detail about all of these characters. Let's get right to it. So starting off, we have all our tiers: S, A, B, C, D, F, and not enough exposure. I don't think anyone's going to be in not enough exposure, but I definitely can tell you there will be some Fs in here. So, starting off, we have Curie in her Miss Nanny form. Now, good thing about Curie in her Miss Nanny form, she has a lot of health, but she is limited to the amount of weapons she has because she is obviously a Miss Nanny. So with that, I'm going to give C tier. She's not a complete character. She's pretty decent if you don't want to do her storyline, but her storyline is what makes Curie such a great character, so you can only give her a C. A C for Curie. Anyways, so we have the synth guy, XJ98, or whatever his name is. I don't really like him. Um, I've never done an Institute playthrough in Fallout 4, so I can't really speak. I guess not enough exposure, but I've had him around. He's pretty cool because he has a pretty decent weapon with the Institute rifle. But overall, I don't like his vibes. I don't like his characteristics. Again, he's a synth courser. So what can you even expect from that? So let's move on to everybody's favorite boy, Preston Garvey. Now listen, Preston Garvey might be annoying, but he's got one of the best abilities if you actually do his quest, and he's actually the easiest companion to get his quest done. So I got to give him B tier for that. What's great about him is that he overall, he has a musket, so he's able to do a lot of damage, but it's pretty slow in the amount of damage per second that he's doing. Now, again, he is annoying. He keeps asking you to save some settlements, but that's what he's going to do. I like Preston Garvey. Don't get me wrong, but I can't put him any higher than that. The cons of him being so obnoxious outweigh all of the wins that he could possibly have. So let's move on to Paladin Danse, and he is 100% an S tier companion. What's great about his storyline, especially if you do a Brotherhood of Steel storyline, you get to see his humanity come out. And I'm be spoiling things for people because if you haven't played Fallout 4 by this point, what have you been doing? But what's great about Paladin Danse is that not only does he have the best carry weight out of all the companions, he's already pre-installed with his own armor that does not break, and he has a really good weapon to boot with having a laser rifle. His ability is pretty good as well. He has one of the best storylines out of any character in the story because he is a synth that doesn't know that he's a synth. And later, he literally works for the Brotherhood of Steel. That's all that he knows. So it's really hard for him to come with that terms, and that's what makes him such a powerful and such a great companion. Moving on, we have Deacon. And Deacon's all right. He's not the best, he's not the worst. I do like his gimmick of him always lying to you, of him always changing his outfit, which I find pretty hilarious. I never give him armor for that reason. But overall, he's not the strongest. He does come with a sniper rifle, which is really, really nice. The sniper rifle is powerful as heck. But overall, there's not enough pros and cons from him that makes me want to take him around. Now, moving on, we have Ada. Now, Ada is an A tier companion. A for Ada. Ada lacks a lot in personality. After you finish her Automatron DLC, she doesn't have that much depth to her. She is a robot, and that is what makes her good, is that you can make her any way you want. I always like to go the Assaultron route with her, and you could literally get her carry weight to so high. You can make her so powerful by giving her so many different weapons. She's a great companion. She's just boring story-wise, so I can't give her any higher than the A, or else she'd be an S tier. Moving on, we have Porter Gage, one of the worst companions in the game. Now listen, Nuka-Cola DLC is not one of the best DLCs throughout the Fallout franchise, but I will be honest and say I had a lot of fun with him, and I like that they give you an evil companion. It just sucks that the evil companion ruins everything about the base game of Fallout 4. Because Fallout 4 didn't really have any evil companions unless you count the Courser. He kind of just ruins the whole gameplay. If you side with him, Freaking Preston Garvey hates you. You have to bring more raiders to the Commonwealth. But then the raiders in the Commonwealth that are already there, they don't care that you're the overboss. So Porter Gage, not that interesting as a character. He's not that strong either. I think he has like an assault rifle, but don't really care for him. So moving on, we have Dogmeat. Dogmeat's favorite boy. What makes Dogmeat an A tier companion is that using him in your playthrough, you're able to use the Lone Wanderer perk, and that is a phenomenal perk to use, and you still get to have him with you, which I'm not sure, again, if this is a glitch or if this is how it's meant to be. I think that it's meant to be that way, but you gotta love Dogmeat. He doesn't have a lot of health, he's not the strongest, but he's in every Fallout game. In this game, he's a German Shepherd, and who does not love German Shepherds? You gotta love him. He is a great companion. He is the bestest boy in the entire world. Moving on. Codsworth. Now, I'm going to put Codsworth in C tier. Now listen, you could also update Codsworth like Ada, but why would you want to do that to Codsworth when he is supposed to be a Mr. Handy? That is literally his whole thing. So changing him just doesn't really make sense. Now, it is nice to have a character that knew you in the past world. It is nice that he's been around and he's able to say your name. But other than that, he's pretty weak. He's a starter companion at best. But I do find it really nice that he does have a story to him, and he has been holding out to see someone that he knows once again, still taking care of the house over all these years. Moving on to MacCready. Now listen, I don't like MacCready. I actually think MacCready is one of the worst companions in the entire game. Not because of his weapons, not because of like who he is as a person, but just because he's boring. And I guess that is because of who he is as a person. He's from Fallout 3, which in itself should be great, but I could care less about this man. I could care less. I don't care about his story. This is going to sound horrible. I don't really care about his relationship with his wife. I don't care how he got to this life. It's not done well. He's not that likable, so I just don't vibe with him like other people. Moving on, we have Strong. He's the worst companion of the game. Now listen, Strong is funny. Strong is the super mutant companion. He says some dumb stuff, but Strong hates everything you do unless you're a cannibal. He doesn't even like if you're a mean person. He doesn't even like if you're lockpicking. He doesn't like if you're stealing. He doesn't like any of that stuff. Why have a companion in the game that just hates everything? And I get it. That's a part of his character. But that's what makes Strong literally the worst companion in this game. You'll see right here, there is no companion worse than him because he is the definitive worst companion in entire Fallout 4. And he might be one of the worst companions of all time in the Fallout games. Moving on, we have Nick Valentine. He is an S tier. I would put him a little lower than Paladin Danse. Phenomenal story. If you bring him to Far Harbor, you just add more to his story. His story mission is also phenomenal. Now, he doesn't really start off with the best like weapons. He's obviously wearing his trench coat, but he has so much character to him. He is by far one of the most interesting characters of the entire game, and having him be like one of the main companions, one of the first people that you meet, is absolutely genius. Fallout hit out of the park with him, and I'm really excited to see if he will appear in future Fallout games since he could just essentially live forever. Now, we have Piper. She's another starter companion, but Piper makes up a lot for just being pretty weak overall, for being such an interesting person. She's one of the most important companions in the game next to like Nick Valentine and like Preston Garvey. She's there from the beginning. She gives you a nickname. What's there not to like about Piper? So many people romance her. She's very interesting. Now, she does have a very weak starting weapon, and her ability that she gives you when you do her mission is only good in lower levels of the game. But again, she makes up with everything from her relationship with her sister, from her relationship with the mayor, the point and like person she is in Diamond City. She is by far one of the most interesting characters in the game, so I gotta give her B tier because of that. Moving on, we have, what is this, Old Longfellow. He is also a D tier companion, but a little better than MacCready. He's not as boring. He's more interesting because he's more rugged and he's grumpy. He's a curmudgeon. He's an old man. He's got a pretty decent weapon. But overall, if I'm in Far Harbor, I'd rather have Nick Valentine on my side rather than Old Longfellow. I only keep him around for that one mission. It's cool. He's got a cabin, but he is not one of the best characters in the game. So moving on, we have Hancock. Hancock is very interesting too. He is an important character. His personality makes up for a lot of his weaknesses because he is not the strongest companion. He literally walks around and he barely does any damage to enemies. He's pretty weak, but he is the Feral Ghoul companion. He is really interesting. He has a lot of charm to him, and that's what makes him great. Moving on, we have Kate. Kate is in my opinion, A tier companion because of her quest. She's not better than like Dogmeat or Ada because Ada is obviously stronger and you just gotta love good boy Dogmeat. But she has a great character quest where you could choose her outcome, whether to keep her as a drug addict or not. And it's very interesting how she changes. She's dynamic. She actually changes the way she feels about you taking chems if you decide to get her cleaned up. If not, obviously she stays the same. But for that, I gotta give Kate the B tier spot, or A tier spot, I mean. Now, I just realized Human Curie's not on here. So you know what that means? Curie is going in S tier. Curie regular, Curie human. I don't know why she's not on this. I didn't make it. But, I gotta be happy that this was already made for me. Curie's a phenomenal companion. When she becomes in her human form, she is literally unstoppable. She has, I think, the most health out of any companion again. She can have her carry weight evolved, you give her some power armor, you give her some great weapons, and her story is phenomenal. A robot deciding to become human, a synth, is such a great concept, and you get to choose whether you want to make her a human synth or not. That's what makes Curie a great companion. So overall, there are some great companions in Fallout 4. Now, I think they do a really good job with the companions. Fallout 4 has some of the best companions in the entire game, as you see right here. Or not entire game, but the entire franchise. We've got 3 S tiers, Paladin Danse, Nick Valentine, Curie. 3 A tiers, Ada, Dogmeat, Kate. B tiers being Preston, Piper, and Hancock. Then we go down to Deacon. We go down to Codsworth, X whatever, I don't know, synth courser guy, he's strong. Porter Gage, Old Longfellow, McCready, and then of course Strong. Now I want to ask you guys, who is your favorite Fallout 4 companion and why? And how would you choose this differently than me? I'm obviously different than you. I have different opinions about things, so let me know where you differ with my opinions. But guys, this is me just ranking the Fallout 4 companions. I'm a big fan of Fallout, so you'll still see some more Fallout stuff on this account. And I really appreciate you guys watching. So thank you so much. Peace.